Let's go. People, Deluded, I'm back again. I hope you're all doing well and safe. Good morning to those of you over here in the UK. Pardon me. While I say good morning to those of you in the UK, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and of course, good night. Please make sure you've hit that like button. Also, please make sure you're checking out the pin tweet because it's Euros business. We're back on the watch along grind in that regard. I'm not quite sure if I'm going to do Finland versus Belgium, but at least you'll know I'll be here for Macedonia versus Holland, or better yet, the Netherlands. So please make sure you're running up the like button for all of those sort of things, people, doing what you can for the engagement. I hope you're all well and safe. Like I said, I hope you're all in good spirits. I hope you've all, ready to attack this week. It's Monday. I hope you all had a productive last week. Let's go and reach our goals, dreams, hopes, and aspirations and attack it aggressively. It's like high press business this week, people. So I wish you all the best in that regards, as I wish the best for myself. Obviously, please make sure, you apply yourself, man. I want you lot to accomplish your goals. If we're living life, you need to be able to hit goals. If we're not trying to aspire to anything, what's the point living? But like I said, Monday morning, I hope you're all doing well and safe. I'm safe. First and foremost, I'm blessed to have a community that always supports the thing like you guys. Second of all, I've got my health. Third of all, I'm breathing in it. And not many people can say that, you can't really take things for granted. I know everybody says that and it's cliche, and to a degree, I'm guilty of that myself, but we really do go again, man. Smash the like button, hit the like button, do what you want to do. Abdi, I'm not trying to flame you, my guy, but this is a pet peeve of mine. You said do what is the title about how are Arsenal still keen on the Super League? Please explain further. So yeah, I'm not gonna do it. I'm just, we're just here live to do nothing. Please wait. Please listen. Please relax. I'm not just gonna do that. That's a pet peeve of mine, Abdi. I'm gonna allow you, but I don't know where you was going with that, what you was trying to achieve, what you thought was gonna happen. I know common sense really isn't common, but please stop, apply, and think logically. I don't know for any other YouTubers, but you're not gonna see me not expand on anything. So let's hold our horses a bit. But I like the excitement. Relax though. Anyways. What are you guys saying, man? Big up K, big up 40 chats. Omar's in the building. You've got Bernard as well. People, smash the like button. Big up DG. Have a great day, people. As AM has said, run up the likes as usual. I appreciate that, man. Over 30 waiting, need more likes than this. Oh gosh, appreciate that. Stylish youths in the building. Obviously, we're gonna crack on, but I've missed you lot. It's been like a day I haven't been locked in. So let me take in what you lot are saying and take in your messages. As you lot can see, Didi straight out from representing for the Turkish ones. Hit the like button, like Turkey's chances, Euro chances got hit up. Crazy. S, you're always here. I appreciate the Moroccans in the building and, all the international goonies. It's ridiculous. It has been a minute, H. It has been, but we're there now, man. We're there, man. Thoughts on yesterday's game, Stylish? Which one are you referring to directly? What? I did what? Switzerland versus Turkey can only be described as maniac. Like I was at the pub watching both games, it can only be described as an absolute madness, fantastic goal from Shaqiri. In relation to Italy versus Wales, Italy, they knew they'd done enough to go through, really. It was lacking really real tempo and all of those sort of things. So it weren't the best or greatest of games to speak. Italy did what they needed to do, won the game. It is what it is in that regards. But apart from that, it's dead, man, if that makes sense. But yeah, I appreciate that. What else are you lot saying? Hey, 101 of you locked in and we're only 4 minutes in. Give us another minute. Let me adjust and we'll get straight into everything, man. I appreciate the German ones. Germany, since the Euros have started, hella German fans have been flocking to this even more. So I don't know who's plugging me in Germany, what you lot are doing. Who knows? It might be Serge Gnabry, but big up to everybody in Germany. And elsewhere. Man said daily duppy DG, I always, whenever I wear a hood and whatever, it is what it is, but this is how I'm most comfortable in real life, like with my hood up or a hat on, and obviously that comes at a price. I'm sure if you live in America, you sadly have seen the scenes week in, week out. I know there's a lot of profiling over here, speaking for myself, but it is what it is. Appreciative of that, man. Hope you're well, DG. I'm going to see if I can find something new today. Wish me luck. Whatever you're doing, big up yourself, man, and everybody's wishing you are, luck in whatever endeavors you're doing, man. Want to join the Super League, but can't even qualify for Europa Conference. Morning, DG. Broski. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. Bro, a man said, bro, trust me, don't now. Let's not get him. I appreciate that. But I mean, come on, man. Man, I'm moving like a young striker making his debut, itching to score. You got to be calm, collected, and composed. Relax, man. Relax. Nah, it's not a smoke thing. It's just that's one of my pet peeves. I've told you, look, one of my pet peeves is not when people disagree with me, but people telling me I said something when I didn't, and not another one is not listening. And man, I'm just excited. Relax, man. You know, I'm on this Maitland Niles thing with my YouTube. Like I'm, you know, very calm and collected. I'm not with this rushing and stuff. The only rushing you get is talking at 1,000,000 miles per hour. I got the lungs. For anyone that thinks I talk too fast, you know, I talk fast, but I can tell you something else is quicker. But anyways, moving on from that, man. Big up everyone locked in. Yeah, Wales, man. Apologies. Yeah, Wales versus Italy. Spain, Poland was dead. That was on Friday. That was dead. I'm not gonna sit here and cap. Shout out to the Polish, but it's boring watching the Spanish. Like the Spaniards are, it's not wavy, really and truly. A man said, morning, broski, 300 likes minimum today. People hit the like buttons. Aye, a lot of you are flocking in. Who knew what a 24-hour DG blackout could do, man? I know a lot of you are probably thinking, what the hell? Where's this guy? Is he good? What's going on? But I woke up on Sunday. I was like, you know, I've been grinding, man. Let me enjoy football. I ain't done up the pub. Let me go and do that, man. So, yeah, I appreciate that, man. Spain have no striker, but same way, man. It's just dead. It's not even about this. Yeah, the striker, you know, Morata's missing tap-ins, Moreno missed, but it's just the tempo, the zip, everything is not there for me that used to make it in relation to watching the Spanish people good, man. So it is what it is. Morning, DG, to quote Biggie Smalls, you got to treat every day like you're an intern on your first day of work, 100%. They haven't been hitting the target stylish. So I appreciate all of you lot banging on the drum and all of that. A man said, man, starved of content from DG. To be honest, I was clipping up a lot of my other past streams because I said I was going to get onto that and then and upload it. But I've been a bit poor in that regards, man. But yeah, man, I didn't realize how much, you know, you lot missed, man. And yeah, trust me, just passing for the sake of passing. Wales did what they could within reason, but it's dead, man. I just think the Spaniards, it's one of them ones where they need a new cycle, maybe some new players that are on stuff. Evidently a striker, man, without a doubt. Thanks for the content. As an American, I rely on this show to teach me the intricacies of the game. Bro, you can learn that yourself, but I appreciate that. A man said DG went to the pub on a Phil Mitchell thing. Bro, brother, yeah, man, a couple pints, cooling off, relaxing. You know, one of you showed love as well. As I'm leaving, someone's like, Deluded, and they've been nice enough to Instagram, man. I was thinking, right, man, can't even go say he's in the pub no more. They in the life of a celeb and them thing there now I'm playing, man. I really appreciate the mental support, physical support, cyber support, all of that sort of stuff, man. Didi, I apologize, man. You know, if you lot want vids, man, I'll come with them, innit? I'll forward with them, as simple as that. But love for the comments. Keep the comments coming. Keep your general comments coming, people. Make sure you've hit the like button. Make sure you know you're up to date for the next watch along and them things there. But it's time to get into the big boy stuff, man. Spain just refusing to touch a dumb, bro. He's there on holiday, man. He might as well apply for Love Island. You know, him, Sanjo, Saka. There's bare man at bare man that I don't understand why they're there. Obviously, England's a bit different. You've got Gareth Southgate, and like I said in my last watch along against Croatia, it was coming home. If it's based on the Scotland one, we're going home. It's as simple as that, really and truly. We're probably the only team, probably Turkey as well. England are probably the only team within these Euros. There's no style of play. There's no ethos. There's no nothing. Even the poorer teams, forgive me from sounding insensitive, like even the lesser nations, I've seen North Macedonia bop these, man, and bop it. I've seen Hungary bop it. Czech Republic, England better not think that's a casual stroll in the park because you'll get bopped. Bop it. You know, Ukraine, bop it. Wales, to a degree, bop it. Couple people been bopping it. Still is some decent football, really and truly, if I'm completely honest with you. And I know I said we're going to get into the rumors. I promise you we are. But you lot have set me off for the Gareth Southgate stuff. It's like I told you, man, I don't believe in Gareth Southgate at all. Like I don't believe in Southgate opinion. Sorry, people, this is getting a timestamp. I don't believe in Gareth Southgate. I don't think he's got any footballing principles. You know, as a man, I admire him. I like how he talks, bit meaty, but talks about racism, does all of those sort of things. I just don't know what he's on as a gaffer. And I think in the Euros, if man are still sitting here, we don't know what England's about. We don't know what the style of play is about. Tactically, it's not working because against Scotland, with all due respect, Scotland, you don't need Calvin Phillips and Declan Rice together. You could have went with any other manager, might have said, at least in game, if you're not going to start it, Mason Mount. you're gonna play in the deeper role. You and either Calvin Phillips or you and either Rice, you're gonna do that. Pull Foden inside, or keep Foden out there, bring on Southgate. You know, there's too much question marks. In that game, it looked like everybody was doing their own thing. Sterling's getting trapped to the ball. Foden's got no interest in staying out wide. Mounts everywhere. Everyone's just doing everything, and it's dangerous. And there's too many problems when you're like, where's Sancho? Where's this? What are we doing there? You know, he brought on Rashford up front. You know, when has Rashford excelled up front for England of recent, or even for United? It's all off the left. So that tells me he didn't have a plan. I'd even understand it a bit more if he went with Calvert-Lewin and just said, let's start crossing the ball in. And it had me thinking, and now it's making me think, was the Croatia one accidental? Like, was it an accidental drilling, really and truly, or did we mean it? I said at the start to you guys, draw, win, loss. I don't want to be right against Czech Republic, but it's looking gazy, people, really and truly. And it's looking like a quick home thing, you know? So just enjoy the vibes. Like I'm seeing, was it Foden or some information come out that the England boys are gonna dye their hair blonde if they win the Euros? You can forget about all that. You can forget about all that if you do not fix up, man. So again, with you can't really believe much in Southgate, really and truly. It is what it is. 5 more likes, we get to 100 quickly. There's 173 people locked in. People, I thought you guys missed me. I thought you guys didn't want expected high bills. I thought you guys wanted Arsenal to sign players. You know, you don't do any of these things. You don't hit the like button. None of these things happen. The man that we're going to get into in Lokonga, he ain't signing for the club if you don't hit that like button. All of a sudden, his medical isn't going to work. I don't care about personal terms being agreed and things, man. And for me, bro, you're right, DD. Sometimes a man, you just know with a certain manager, same way with the other managers, I've seen them pull blinders. Like, you know, we all watched Hungary versus France. I think the Hungary manager did a job against France. You know, yeah, France might say facing it's a draw, but I just think they had no answers for France had no answers for that 3 at the back. You know, they really did well. I ain't seen England do a thing like that. You know, and as you get further and further and further into the competition, God willing, boy. And you know, say all the other European nations, they see us English as arrogant, as smug, as all of these things, as having a divine right and all of these sort of things. So, you know, I'm sure they all want to light us up. There, no one's going to take better pleasure in seeing England defeated than the whole of Europe. So, again, I don't want that to be a reality, but with Southgate, it sounds like it's inevitable. But unless of the Euro ranting, I'm sounding a bit Brexit and all those sort of things and whatnot. Run up the like button. I reckon we beat Wales, but you know, nobody's gonna track Ramsey's run. No one's gonna somehow Gareth Bale's gonna wind back the years. Bro, Germany would, and even Germany by their own standards look shaky. They'll mash up this team. Hungary will move to Arsenal. I mean, move to England, let alone Germany, man. It's a madness. Bro, Southgate's not the guy. Even Southgate, why you wear it? Put back on your 3-piece suit. You ain't earned the right to wear casual drip. You're not Pep. You ain't earned the right to wear the mad hoodies and that. Even Arteta hasn't, but at least Arteta's won FA Cup and he can do all of that. Put back on your 3-piece suit and look like the manager until you do a madness, man. You know, I wouldn't mind going after Renato Sanchez as well, just because of that absolute weights he did on Emre Can and he licked off the post. He was moving like DG, and because I see him do drill videos for Leo, we need a bit of them, man. We need a bit of banter and all of that. But why not? But the caution you do feel with Renato, he was good last year, but you do think he's one of them that just happens to turn up every couple of years for the country, for the nation, and them things there. So I'm not too sure, man. Southgate's just cool, man. He's just that cool. He's just that cool supply teacher. He wasn't really a cool supply teacher. He just got no authority, so you're running riot, you know, really. And it's almost illegal for him to play 3 great attackers on the pitch at the same time. Bro, Wenger would do bits with this England team, but it's a myth, man. It's a myth. It's an absolute myth. Keep the engagement, comments, and all of those sort of things. Bro, man, have to fix up, man. Fix up. Do up your tie. Do all of that. You ain't earned the right for the drip yet. When you do bits, you can have the drips. Bro, they will put it, bro. That'll be this Richard. They will flame us. You're fully % right, bro. Any decent team we buck, we're gonna be in trouble. You know, I'm scared of Czech Republic because I think they're gonna do bits, man. I agree with you. I like the foundation Southgate has implemented, but doesn't seem like he can take us further than that. Yeah, he's a nice guy. You know, he's got everyone together. Everybody's cool and whatnot. But now it's about being certified, man. We ain't really got that. Jules, 100. But if you support England and Arsenal, you're stressed right now. I thought we escaped incompetent managers at least for a month, but it's a magic, really and truly. So, yeah, man, love for the comments. Keep the comments coming. Who knew we would spend 40 minutes speaking about the Euros and that? But let's get into the serious business. You know what? We're going to start with the Super League, people. Because, you know, for Abdi, I know you've been here long, and to be honest, Abdi, you know what, I might have to issue an apology to you, because this is why we've gone so, this is why you probably said it, because we've gone so left. But I've missed you guys, man, and there's no rules, there's no structure in a healthy way, man. This is new media. You know, if you want structure and them things there, go on Sky Sports, but I'm here for the people. If we go here, well, what did you do here? Because I had the soup. This is why I hate preparation sometimes, because I had the article here. Where is it? The article was fully here. What is going on? Here we go. You know, saved my bacon. A man said, missed you yesterday, bro, but you deserved a break. I won't lie. Let me be honest. I woke up. Sunday, I clipped up some clips and I'll put them out, because obviously some of you don't get to see all the live streams. So I've clipped up some things. I looked at it, I was like, Italy, Switzerland, I need to do a watch along, but let me go pub. My guy phoned me, he's like, is it pub settings? I was like, say nothing, man, say nothing. You know me, I've turned it down so much. He's like, and this is the pressures with having a dream. He's always like, they were like, oh, you've been streaming for time, man. I was like, I hear that. Let me get one. The fans then will allow me, man, because really Saturday was a slugfest. I don't know how I got through that, man. That was a slugfest. I woke up naked. But anyways, man, let's keep moving, man. As you lot can see here, desperate Super League organizers believe a modified version of the hated competition can still go ahead. Now, I don't want to go over it. I'm not for the Super League. I am for UEFA, rebelling against UEFA, because people were like, it's the devil we know and the devil we don't know. UEFA have a lot of problems, and I think you've all seen it in the, not that I'm supporting these lot and their decision, but I think you've all seen it in the months that have happened since this has gone away, you know. You know, threatening England with moving the Euros finals and things like that, doing what they're doing. You know, you're seeing certain racist, malicious groups going and ruining the Euros in respective ways without going on that. So it's not a thing. I think in principle, there's nothing wrong with breaking away from UEFA, making another tournament. Obviously, when you look at the intricacies of this tournament and the merit of it, doesn't make it bad. But I think UEFA need to be challenged. You know, let's be real. I don't want to keep going over the same things. But Gary Neville, all them pundits, you know, all them Sky Sports and stuff, they didn't care, because it's the game, the fan of the game, the game for the fans. They didn't care, because it's been gone from us. The honest fan can't afford ticket prices. The honest fan can't afford all these packages. You know, if you want to watch all football, it's a madness. Even in the last few years, bro, what they've torn, you can't even grab a Spanish and Italian league with BT now. You got to go do Premier Sports, Sky TV, BT this, you know. Technically TV license for BBC. If you want a next thing, you got to do a next thing. You know, you know, clubs have got their own footage, and God forbid, if you're just a fan of football and you support with respect to lower league team like Championship and League One and them things, all the things I said you got to spend money on, more time now. You got to buy these press passes where it could be X amount of money for the season, or it's £10 a game. So you get the point in regards. So they're lying to us on a whole heap of things. UEFA don't care, you know, whether it's humanitarian things or whatever, they don't care. They, you know, they really didn't care. They just knew that there was money gone. So I like to see people challenging. I would like to see some sort of Super League, not the way it went ahead, people. And we all know, or I believe anyways, we're far from seeing this done. It's a thing where, all right, cool, you man won, we sit back, we go again, and they're going to bust their thing off again. Like, you're going to see more of the Super League stuff. If not, they're going to wrap it up, take what was good from it, take what they failed, then make a next thing. You know, and obviously we've all seen, you know, Perez was moving like Scarface with them Juventus, man, and that he didn't want to go down, man. And this is like what Toby said. Facts, bro. Only competition will make these UEFA lot try to pattern up. They have a monopoly chokehold on the game, and that's it. And they dangled that carrot like these rich people do in life, like the whole did with certain, you know. I don't want to get into Brexit, but there was reasons. There's legit reasons to vote for and against Brexit. There was a lot of, what's the word? Like, you know, a rich one man might say to a poor man, you're not getting money because these guys are stealing your jobs. Little do you know, it's him doing it. You know, it's them sort of things there that could be in place. So we need to be wary of such. But apparently all 6 English clubs involved in the European Super League are yet to formally leave their hated competition. So what? They told us we're leaving. They did whatever they did. They saved face with fans. They dealt with the backlash, but they're all apparently part of it. So what has this said? What does this tell you? Are they all sitting there and saying, oh, fan backlash? What if we package it up a different way? You know, fans, there was a backlash. What if we package it up a next way? Fans might be for it, you know? It is what it is, but what can you see here? You can see it says Manchester City, Manchester United, Liverpool, Arsenal, Tottenham, and Chelsea. Somehow Tottenham and Chelsea all withdrew from the European Super League within 72 hours of the systemic change to the sport being dramatically announced in April. We all know there was a public sorry. Apparently, a spat of public apologies and pledges to resist revisiting the doomed idea. We all know there was a fine as well, followed by the so-called Big Six allegedly remaining co-owners and shareholders of a holding company in Spain, with senior sources close to the venture claiming there is no mechanism from withdrawal and the league will be relaunched. Again, it will. And maybe the clubs will get the Premier League on side because they've had to pay Premier League signs. Maybe they've, you know, they go back and say, you know what, this is how it will interlap with the Premier League. So there's no problem. Premier League might sit there and say, well, they will sit there. Well, there's no money coming out of my thing. UEFA, FA, you lot do your thing. We're getting our money. We're doing what we needed to do. That's the only reason these lot cared. It's just a race to the bottom and man are missing out on money. They don't give a crap. If they did give a crap, they're not charging you 13, 14 pounds in the middle of a COVID thing for a meaty Premier League game that's barely going to get high coverage. It's dead. So as you can see here, technically it's not done. And we all know they got fancy little owners and things that can manipulate things. Apparently organizers, are said to believe that the hugely controversial plan is even more vital amid the financial crisis caused by COVID, with a senior source reportedly saying the owners know this is not the end, it's just the beginning. As we knew, it's never the end, it's just the beginning, you know. It is just the beginning. They dealt with the backlash. You know, we could look at it as, you know, these lot are smart. Maybe they planned for this. Maybe they were prepared for this. Maybe they wanted to see how the public would perceive it. And they're like, all right, cool. The public were angry about this. Let's pull it in this or such a way. Let's remodel it in this sort of way. Let's rework it in this sort of way. And then they go again, people. So we don't know. But as you lot can see here, you know, it's just the beginning. We resumed diet. And to be fair with you, away from the Super League, the way that, again, I have no divine right to UEFA for all these clubs, but the way they're being shagged they're shagging it, but the way they're being shagged by UEFA, it makes sense. It makes sense for these clubs, individual clubs, to try control a bit more of their P's. Where it's a problem is when you look at people like definitely Spurs and Arsenal, where, as somebody said, you can't even qualify for the Conference League. You haven't even showed sporting excellence, and you want to be part of this because of some legit reasons, but on the back of being you want to be on the back of being rewarded for mediocrity, being rewarded for failure. As we know, you got more money for being in that competition if it stayed in its current model than actually winning it. As we know, the 6 clubs were fined a total of 22 million, agreeing to pay 25 million each and lose 30 points if they attempted to try that scheme again, basically. So again, they're not going to try it unless they're absolutely sure. We all know AC Milan and these clubs also pulled out. Apparently, at the time, Arsenal were quoted as saying, "We've been absolutely clear we are withdrawing from the ESL. This is subject to a legal process, which is underway." So we'll have to see, but it's only the beginning, people. And apparently Super League representatives believe that breaches competition law because it prevents clubs from breaking away, and have filed a case with the European Court of Justice in order to establish whether the organizers have an exclusive right to organize competitions. And at the time, you did hear UEFA were actually bluffing. They actually said, "I'm not allowed to bring in fines and things like that." But is apparently a source close to the competition is said to have affirmed, "It's our belief we will win the case based on the precedent in other sports and will serve to pave the way for a Super League to eventually relaunch in a modified form." I mean, nobody cares what Tottenham Hotspur have to say. You know, you're not good enough to be in these sort of things. You ain't got no previous drip, no history, so leave it at that. But yeah, man, that's that in relation to the Super League. So it's only the beginning, you know. And again, if Stan Kroenke is the owner of this football club, you can probably imagine, regardless of what I think, if there's morals behind it, if, you know, potential sanctions, they're going for it. They're absolutely going for it. It's as simple as that. So we'll have to see. And it's like Guerrero has said, man, RIP the real Eddie Guerrero, the ESL will be back again. It might be 2 weeks, it might be 2 years, it might be 10 years. But you can imagine they're sitting there, they're licking their wounds, they're thinking how they can revisit this. Because again, to us, it sounded like it just came out of nowhere. These lot are calculated businessmen. You know, you don't get to where they have it without that. They've been planning this for weeks, months. Surely they've been considering or considered at the time every possible variable that could have happened. So we're a big way to seeing what the end of that, in my opinion. It's only the beginning. It's only the beginning, as that article said. So yeah, make sure you're hitting the like button, people. That's that in relation to the Super League. We're gonna crack on with a couple of other things. But what else are you guys saying in the comments? I see you lot doing what you're doing in the chat and whatnot. 7 likes until we hit 100. Come on, people. We can do better in that regards. What are you lot saying? Conte for England manager? Nah. Wouldn't mind it, but he ain't gonna do it, man. I said Buki hoodie. I don't know. I don't think you understand what the word Buki means, but love for that act. England always rely on one player, been like that for decades. On this occasion, it's Kane. I don't think England are relying on Kane, really and truly. I think maybe he shouldn't. I think, I think if anything, it's all got Gareth Southgate. For Kane needs to stop doing that Spurs ish he does. Kane's dropping deep like he does at Spurs. There's no need for that. If you've got Foden, Mount, and these people around you, it's a bit like Bruno Fernandes for Portugal. He's trying to carry on with that Man United crap, and you can see how it's not cut up the task. You got to do a bit more than just doing nonsense. It's a madness. A man said, I support Arsenal, England, and Somalia. Life is peak, bro. God gives his toughest fights to his strongest soldiers, in it. DG with the flexibility, unlike Southgate. DG now stands for Deluded Geezer, pub settings. Hey, man, it's only here and there. My morning medication, some DG Nation. I thought he was going to hold their meds, but fair play. I appreciate you, man. And like you said, 136 likes. You know the drilling, man. Keep going, man. DG, probably there is something to the Super League we don't know, are we? I'm not sure, but okay, of course, there is probably a lot of what we don't know because of the way it's been done. Nothing is to chance with these lot. They don't just come out with things for the sake of it. 50 more people need to hit the like button and we hit 200 and we're moving. Big up yourself, JA, man. I appreciate you guys. We're going to get into the Arsenal transfer stuff in just a second, man. Big up yourself. No clue what a wake and bake is. Maybe, is it chicken bake from Greg's? Shout out to you, man. Hey, man, I don't know about that. I'm a cool guy. Let's not do the stereotyping business. I'm just a man in a hoodie. So, yeah, man. If Southgate faces any team above Sweden's 5 at the back with 2 DMs, and Kane will be asked to do a lot of defending, bro, he needs to tell Kane, you stay up top. Stop doing the Spurs thing. Stay at the top. Stan ain't going nowhere, so it's unfortunate. Very unfortunate. But, yeah, let's crack on with a bit more of the transfer news. I want to start with the most bewildering run I saw, really and truly. Let me make sure the timestamps are spot on for you guys, people. This was bewildering. Again, I'll never belittle someone before they have a chance at our football club. But if you can't make it at Everton, if you can't make it at Celtic, and you're 24 years of age, I'm not really on it, man. To be fair with you, didn't Duffy go on loan to Celtic? So maybe a couple of them moves didn't really work out. But if you don't know who I'm referring to, Jonjoe Kelly discussed for Arsenal transfer as Celtic underperformer in the mix for Shock Switch. Now, the reasons I might be able to see this link, without looking at his contract, I don't know how long he has on his deal. He might not have any longer. He can play in a couple of roles. He is homegrown. But why I wouldn't want it? He can play as a centre half and a right back. What is he? And is he ahead of anybody at Arsenal? Probably no. It's not really an inspired signing. I can't really see how this ties into our defence 3-4 years from now. Like, you could see Tierney being the leader of that defence. Not that he isn't already. 3-4 years from now, when he's 28 or something like that, Gabriel is going to rise in stature by God's grace. Saliba, a right back. If you've got Onana behind them or Leno or whatever, it makes sense. So I can't really see this happening. It's was in it, people. But apparently, Celtic loanee Jonjoe Kelly is under consideration at Arsenal, with the Gunners looking for a host of new signings. As you lot know, the 24-year-old returned to parent club Everton at the end of the season after failing to turn heads during his 6 months in Glasgow. Kenny made 16 appearances in all comps for Celtic, but his displays from right back weren't regarded as highlight among the support during the season to forget. So yeah, man. Pardon me, it ain't banged for him. And to be fair with you, if you've got Chambers at least for a year, what's the point, really and truly? Apparently, the England Youth International arrived during I'm just going to say bad time. I'm not going to sit here and say I can say that word, boy. Tumultuous, bro. That's for the people that people that got English degrees and stuff. He had a bad time, but failed to provide the attacking verse and swagger that was a hallmark of Jeremy Frimpong before his abrupt exit to Leverkusen. Shout out to Frimpong. And now the Daily Mail claim Kenny could be an option at right back for Mikel Arteta, with Bellerin linked for an exit. Let's click on the Daily Mail and see if there's a real article there. But as you look can see here, Mikel Arteta wants a 10. I'm not going to go over it all because, again, it's the same old recycling and recycling. When I see newspaper, all my Caribbean ones out there, when I see recycled articles, do you know what this makes me feel like, people? Again, all for my Caribbean ones out there, you'll understand this analogy. It's like when you have bananas in your yard and they're going out of date and you just make some banana fritters. You made something out of that and you made something amazing out of something that looks a mess. That's what I think it is. Because, again, how many times do we need to see the names of Matt Ryan, Ben White, Lokonga? We spoke about my man players making a return to the Arsenal linked FC roster. Fekir's there, Matt Ryan's there, Ben White, the same old names, people. We're always looking. Let's go and bring people. We know we've been linked with Neto and things. I assume this is just someone adding their own swagsy little bit to it. So I'm just going to skip straight to the defenders, people. I don't want player for what it's worth. Where's the defense? Defenders. With David Luiz gone, Arteta wants a top quality centre back to compete with Gabriel when holding, blah, blah, blah. Ben White's there. Arteta has Callum Chambers and Cedric Suarez as right back options, but is likely to sign another fullback should Bellerin leave, with Leo, Zeki, Cilic, I'm not on that, and Everton's JONJOE Kelly both being discussed. Arsenal like Tariq Lamptey, but there's a slim chance of affording him on top of White, while they're also likely to be priced out of a move for Max Aarons. Now, again, we might get Max Aarons, but from agents I speak to and people I speak to, not that I'm in the know, they say that one is more of that one there is more of just a rumours thing. It could happen, you never know, but it appears that that's just a rumours thing. Maitland-Niles could be leaving, you know, he's linked with Everton, he's linked with Southampton, he's been linked with Wolves again, he's been linked with Watford, you know, could we use him to get a deal? You know, maybe Ben White, we buy Ben White normally. Maybe you use Maitland-Niles as a mate weight to try and get Tariq Lamptey or to try and grab Basuma as well. But I don't think we're going to do that, because when was the last time we sold players for decent money? When was the last time we bought quality players at a quality age from a Premier League team for decent money? Of course, I want to see. It looks like Ben White's going to become an Arsenal player, if you ask me. But it is what it is, man. On that note, yeah, bro, Arsenal, bro, we're top of the league right now. I don't know about top 6. We're top of the league right now. Go and check the league table. So everybody should be flocking to come to us. Maybe that's why we've been linked with these madmen. As you lot know, Maitland-Niles is going to keep it moving. We spoke about Jesus Corona, and I'll clip up one of my live streams and give you lot the 10-minute or whatever minute I spoke about him. I don't want to go over it again. We know Mavropanos seems to be hitting the exit door. We're going to get into it, but Medley's left as well. Obviously, Badard looks to be going on loan in the Championship. There's a lot of work to be done with the centre-halves. At first-team level, there's just speculation. It looks like Mavropanos is gone. And you know, 1 minute Saliba is staying, going, or whatever. I'll be very unhappy with this football club if they care about young players getting chances and refuse to do that. But it is what it is in that regard. So it's recycled the same names. Maybe that's primarily where the JONJOE Kelly link has come with. But from where I'm concerned, people, it's probably West. But until that, we don't know. Make sure you're hitting that like button, people, please. There's 351 of you in here. The likes is 200. Big up Tridon for that. I really appreciate that, man. So yeah, hit up that like button. We're going to get into the rest of it. But in relation to JONJOE Kelly, timestamps for you guys that aren't watching that, let's just be nice and say 33, and then we're done, people. We're moving off to a great start here, aren't we? Oh yeah, man, it is what it is in that regards. We're going to get onto the Lokonga latest in a second. I've got so many articles up here, I don't even know. You know, you're gone. Oh gosh, okay, what happened there? Accidentally. What's the when you've accidentally closed the tab, people? What's that? Where do you go to? I didn't mean to do that. I don't even know what that was. That might have been the Medley one. Yeah, man, that was Medley. Still, we effed it, people. As you lot know, live it's live stuff. It's live. We're doing stuff live. Certain things go wrong, people. I don't know what happened there. Let's put that one back. We're gonna get into that, people. But I'm trying to find. I've even lost my trail of thought now. No. Yes, Lokonga. Here we go. Lokonga. My guy. We're going to get into him in a second, people. But I did you lot dirty with that. A man said, just joined. Has Lokonga really agreed terms? Looks a prospect. Hassan, you joined at the right time. You're there. Didi, love for that. Shout to Didi, man. You're the only guy that was able to provide that. I swear all of you meant to be smart guys and all them things there, man. Smarter than me. Top of the league, and we haven't even played a game. We are gargantuan. You're right, man. Stop using them words I can't pronounce, though, or somehow hack into this and speak yourself, man, guy. Come on, people. I hope you're all doing well and safe. Max Aarons, I mean, G1, you're a United fan. I mean, I would take him as a United fan. You'll always sign him in Football Manager, and he gives you a lot of adaptability and 2 young right backs in that. But could it be worth finding someone that might be a lesser profile that can just plug a gap that's a bit more ready? Like he's a right back for now. He might not have the high ceiling, but he's a right back. So you have a Wan-Bissaka and a right back. Arguably, you'd imagine stuff that Wan-Bissaka doesn't excel at, he's able to do that. So yeah, man, he's got to do stuff in that. Man said he would rather keep Chambers there instead of JONJOE Kelly, 100%. Big up you lot, man. Big up you lot. Got my history. I ain't got no beaky things in my history, but you lot will probably find my personal details, and you know how some people are mad, man. DG, do you have some Scots in you? Arsenal might just want you. To be fair, bro, man's born in Glasgow, bro. Man's grandma's from Glasgow. If it means playing football, I'll sell them jeans. My great-great-grandma's from Glasgow. Get me and Teeny are distant cousins and that. I'm on selling all dreams to make it. Why not, man? Fullback union and those sort of things there, man. Appreciate you lot. I hope you're well and safe. What will you expect we have completed come the 1st of July? I hope the man in the back of my picture is completed. I would say that really, but I don't know, man. I really don't know. Every media outlet throwing every link at Arsenal, bro. They're trying, bro. They're trying to get the peas in. I don't blame them. They're trying to pay their bills, and you know who's going to give you engagement levels to the scale of Arsenal. You know Arsenal are going to do that. Arsenal fans, because we're desperate. You link us to Ronaldo. Certain men are going to click it, and certain man will somehow justify it. We've been linked with everyone. We are literally buying the league, man. AM pattern, pattern up. You lot are killing me, but yeah, man, let's keep cracking on. I'm loving it, people. I'm happy to be back. Let me set my next timestamp and let's get back into what we need to get into, man. AM, you try to do me dirty. I'm not even gonna put that one up there. Big up Peter, man. Put the hoodie back there, but you seem to be promoting the UK and whatnot. Nonetheless, shout out to you. So yeah, man, let's crack on with this Lokonga business, and you know, it's what we kind of already know, or what everybody and their nan in relation to the young Belgian guys are telling us. We know he's a good player. For me, I'm all for that because, you know, I said it at the start of last year. Obviously, I was more using it in relation to TORREIRA, but I wanted somebody that can do what Partey does. I want to be able to play with 2 people similar to Partey's skill set if we need it. I want us to be able to drop one out. Sadly, if Partey gets injured, like we've seen, we're back to square one and there's no number 6. And for me, I just didn't. I know I don't know football to the level of these guys. I ain't been a professional footballer, but for me, I just couldn't see the logic in. At the time, there's 38 games in the league. There's however many in Europe, and if you go through in the FA Cup and the Carling, you do whatever. You need a squad. Injuries are part and parcel. Loss of form, different things and whatnot. And that's why even people saying they want Partey and Bissouma, you can't really, for me, say that and then say you'd be cool with not bringing in a 10, which some of you said in the comments, because you're gonna cry when there's no creativity. Suddenly, Smith Rowe's gone. You're looking at Partey and this guy to do the ball playing and that, and that's where the lines get blurred. At Arsenal, we need players that their primary job is their primary job. Then they do other things. I think the lines get blurred. Man was sitting there and saying Partey's got all the passing ability in the world. He can pass the ball. Is that why he's a professional footballer? Probably not. But moving forward, Arsenal agree personal terms with Albert Sambi Lokonga ahead of £17 million bid. Now, that doesn't surprise me. Personal terms clearly were never a problem. You do see a lot. You even hear with Man United, they've agreed personal terms with Jadon Sancho. You can agree what you want, what you like. You know, the terms of the contract, what it might look like, what bonuses might look like, all of that. You need to agree it with the club. One thing that could help us is apparently Thierry Henry's recommendation. The fact that apparently he's getting interest from Spain and Italy, but he wants to come to England. Also, you know, what was the other point I was going? The fact that allegedly we're ahead in this race, and we've kind of done that in that regards. But from what you could see, you can agree as many personal terms as you like. You need to agree something with Anderlecht. Apparently Anderlecht are broke. That was the point I was meant to say. But apparently Arsenal are preparing a second bid of around 17 million for Anderlecht ace Albert Sambi Lokonga after agreeing personal terms with the midfielder. As you lot know, we know Arteta is keen to strengthen. We know Xhaka is effing off to Roma. Yes! Get in. Apparently Arsenal's first bid for the midfielder of around 30 million was rejected, but apparently Arsenal are preparing an improved offer of 14 million plus 3 million in add-ons, taking it to around 17. I don't mind that because he'll pay for himself in the future. Even if he doesn't develop, there's resale value. I think there's a lot to be done in terms of his passing. But I like him. He can pass the ball. He can drive. He puts in a tackle. He's got good mentality. I mean, you don't wear the captaincy if not, you know. So when you've got that, when you've got Tierney, when you've got Gabriel, again, like I say, when you're imploring leaders of the new school, people to lead from the front, you know, obviously it ties into what we want in that he's young, you know, he's a young squad, young, innovative and hungry, he can be here for a couple of years. And everyone might say, who's this, who's that, or whatever. But suddenly, you know, in a year or now, if he's looking like Axel Witsel, if he's looking like Yaya Toure, again, I hope these are these things, which he plays nothing like Yaya Toure. My point is, you can't say you want your club to find gems and then they're finding players that you have to maybe go on YouTube or WeScout or whatever to look at and say there's an issue. We need to outsmart the market. I'd say not even outsmart the market. We need to outsmart ourselves because, you know, we do a lot of dumb stuff. We've heard there's 250 million there, whether that's there or not. You know, does anyone trust Arsenal to spend that, right? Because somehow you would come back with bare guys like Willian. You wouldn't get none of these guys. But apparently the report claims Lokonga is keen on the move to the Emirates and has already agreed personal terms with the Gunners ahead of a proposed switch to the Emirates. Anderlecht are aware of the level of interest in Lokonga and feel they can obtain a fee of closer to 20 million for the midfielder. So again, if Xhaka goes, Xhaka's fee kind of pays for it. Like I said, people, apparently Atalanta and Sevilla are both willing to battle Arsenal for the signature. So it is what it is. If we go back to this article, apparently it's saying the 21-year-old is getting closer to Arsenal every day. You know, obviously Henry's probably helped play the part in this. I hope Company and Arteta, having both cross paths at City, them little links played into it as well. Maybe Company could give him a first-hand sort of dossier on what Arteta was or wasn't like as a manager, but apparently, or as a coach, better yet. Apparently, the Anderlecht midfielder has even found a personal agreement with the Gunners since Sunday, but Anderlecht and the London club are not yet on the same wavelength, and the green light from the Brussels management is not yet available. According to our information, Arsenal are offering 14 million plus free and bonuses. So, we're going to find it. We're going to get there eventually, man. In my opinion, maybe Xhaka needs to go before this excels. Maybe we just don't agree, man. Please make sure you're hitting that like button, people. And, you know, Stylish you said, make sure you're getting your merchandise. Shout out to everybody who's copped that so far. Come on. Different colors, different strokes for different folks. It's not just hoodies, it's a bag of things, and I appreciate that plug. So yeah, hit that one up. But as I was saying, you know, Xhaka probably pays for this, and like I said, people, we need a different midfielder because, like I said, apart from the occasional games, it should be one of Lokonga and Partey. Obviously, the different varieties, but with Lokonga coming in, you've got Lokonga and Partey. That's 2 6s. I don't see an 8. I would like 2 8s. I don't see a 10. I don't see an 8.5, as I call it. For me, you either bring me a 10 or you bring me an 8.5. I'm not going to lie. Because of how Arsenal are and we don't double down on talent, I'd rather go on an 8.5. An 8.5 for me is these modern creators, you know, the creativity in the middle of the park. You rarely see it being a 10. It's more an 8.5, more Kevin De Bruyne sort. I know we're not going to get Kevin, but that's the point. So I'd more want that. You know, if you get that 8.5, you've got Partey, you've got Smith Rowe, and then, you can chop and change. Why not? You got Joe Willock in the mix, assuming he stays, these sort of things. But for me, the midfield has to complement each other. It needs to be different ingredients. You know, there's too many times, like last season we had bare midfielders. What are they? You know, what was Ceballos? Was to this day, what is Xhaka? Is he a deep lying playmaker? Is he box to box? What is Granit Xhaka? I think he is a deep lying playmaker, but I haven't known, you know. Still to this day, what is Joe Willock? Because even if I'm harsh, I think he's a box to box man. But anytime he's at the Emirates, he's playing, you know, he's playing as a 10 and whatnot, and things. So Maitland-Niles is still on the books. What's going on there? So we need to confirm what we're doing with the midfield. We need proper options. And for me, I would like 4 to 5 genuine midfield options, excluding a 10. You know, I would like 2 6s. I would like 2 number 8s. Minimum for a team. I think a team needs that minimum to be serious, but who knows? But it looks like it's getting closer and closer. But until it's done, it's not over till the fat lady sings, as you guys know. So yeah, make sure you're hitting that like button, people. That's that in relation to Lokonga. Quickly, let's get on to Aaron Ramsey because again, I'll take Ramsey back if there's no fee. You know, even if you're supplementing some of his wages, it makes absolutely no sense. And again, that's when you remove your emotion for the player because he's a brilliant footballer. Obviously, he's a lovely guy and all of those sort of things, but it's not going to make sense to bring him back in the slightest, really and truly. And apparently, according to, sorry, Stylish, you're my guy, but I got to remove this. According to you can't see it, but according to our editorial team gathered, This is Google Translate. Ramsey would be teased by the idea of returning to Arsenal. The problem is the evaluation of Juventus and Arsenal's decision not to pay anything. The Welshman should reduce his salary and Juventus accept an exchange. Exchange for who? Hector Bellerin? I will take Ramsey on loan. I don't think Arsenal need to take on his wages, give him a good contract, any of that stuff. Not because I don't think he's a good player. It's because, let's be real, I don't think he's going to justify it. I don't think he's justified them at Juventus. You know, Aubameyang deserved it at the time, but suddenly Aubameyang's inconsistent form. Williams got a deal. You know, we've still got Kolasinac here for 100 bags a week somehow. You know, there's no good things there. Of course, Ramsey, you know, he knows the league, he knows the club, this and that. But, and this is from one of Aaron Ramsey's biggest supporters. There's rose tints. How many times throughout a whole 38 campaign did Aaron Ramsey turn up? This is me being harsh. It's killing me to ask you like that. It doesn't make sense. Of course, he could be a leader with the young players and all those sort of things, but I think we should stay clear from it. Obviously, if you could get him for free, if he reduces his salary, if you could get him on loan with a reduction to paying some of his salary, I'm all for attempting to do those sort of things. But he had his chance to stay at Arsenal and he didn't, innit? No, nothing wrong with that. You're at Juventus, bro. You're Champions League, Juventus. The drip is different. No one can begrudge that, but we'll never know. There was a lot of rumors how Emre, there was an offer. Ramsey wanted to sign it. Emre said no. Ramsey had an offer. He said no. There was never an offer. The manager didn't rate him. We'll never know what happened. All that happens, all we know is that he's walked in it. So I think the Arsenal and Aaron Ramsey story should be dead. We should not go over it again. This, you know, leave it at that. I would entertain it, but, you know, certain things just have to stay dead and buried in the past, people. Hit the like button. So that's that in relation to God, me, Ramsey, big up Ramsey, though. Obviously, I'm tired of speaking about Lucas Torreira. Just bust out the effing football club. As you lot can see here, people, Arsenal have not opened talks with Lazio for Joaquin Correa, despite rumours. He's not even considered a target as of today. Lazio are interested in Torreira, but Arsenal asked for 20 million to sell him. Complicated deal, no chance if the price doesn't change. So what? Could Torreira come back and stay for a year? I don't know if he'll do that with Lokonga coming in, with Partey, with Joe Willett, with a number 10 or 8 coming in. There's not a lot of spaces. And, you know, on ability, I'll take Torreira at the club. Torreira, for me, should have been central to what we was doing. But for one reason or not, it ain't worked out. And the mentality, if you don't want to be here, Leonard don't want to be here, Bellerin, Xhaka, everyone go. I don't care how good you are. Even if Saka said he wouldn't want to be here, which he didn't, you know. The minimum is that people want to be here. People are focused. People are acting like Arsenal isn't doing them a favour. Because I see teams that somehow we finish below. Their players, you can see it means a damn lot to them every day they play. They're thankful. Too many people at this club know they're lucky to be here and they don't play like that. And I'm tired of it. And a team is a reflection of the gaffer. So it is what it is. It just feels like the good players are the ones being rubbed out here at Arsenal Football Club. But it is what it is. As you lot know, I'm beginning to have hate for Lucas Torreira from a footballing point of view. It's one of them. The name, the face, everything is peeing me off because you're just here. Get the guy off the wage books now, man. Just leave. I love you, Lucas Torreira. I did videos calling for Arsenal to sign you. And we actually moved for you. But I'm tired of it. Right, shout out to Michael Owen. He's moving mad on the roadside. But moving away from that, Arsenal... Shut up, Xhaka, man. Arsenal received a major boost in their hopes of signing Joaquin Correa, with the Argentine's current club Lazio reportedly willing to accept a swap deal involving Lucas Torreira. So, bit fishy here. Fabrizio Romano has claimed that this my man's not on our list. We're not involved. Now, obviously, things can happen. But if we're not placed a bid, he's not on our targets. Why are we going to sign him to plug the gap? We'd probably just want our 20 million euros, people. So this is just people inventing stuff. It's all, well, it is what it is here, people. You know, it is what it is here. Apparently, Arsenal are stepping up in their pursuit of the attacker, with Correa said to want an acceleration in the situation. It's claimed that his agent has been attempting to drum up offers from clubs across Europe, though Arsenal are currently the only interested party. Apparently, we're not interested. So again, to be fair to his agent's doing what you're supposed to do. He's drumming up interest. The Gunners have only offered a fee in the region of 17 million for Correa. So yeah, we'll have to see. He has a release clause of 68 million. Apparently, they'll accept 30. So that's sounding like Torreira, who's valued at 20 million euros plus an extra 10 to get it done. The less said of Lucas Torreira, the better. Hopefully, the next time I speak about Lucas Torreira, he's no longer an Arsenal footballer, and that's the end of him and sentences about him and just speaking about him in general, man. The less said about Lucas Torreira, the better, people. We're going to get into Guendouzi in a hot second, people. As I said, make sure you're running up the likes. Where were we in terms of that? We're at 49. Pretty sure we started talking there. Oh, I don't know why I did that. Put that back. But yeah, we're moving through it, people. We're moving through it. We're moving through it. Big up everybody locked in. Make sure you're hitting the like button. Let's get into Guendouzi, because 1 minute he's going Dortmund, then he's going this club, then he's going that club, then he's doing this. As you lot can see here, apparently Marseille have been strongly linked with Guendouzi for all of this month. Apparently he's been linked with Benfica, long story short. George Jesus wants to strengthen his side's core, and the negotiations to sign Roma's Steven and Zonzi are at an advanced stage. The Eagles manager wants to bring in another midfielder, and therefore the Arsenal player has been identified as a target. And I mean, it would be a great place. You know, Portugal's a fantastic country to live in, fantastic league, fantastic big club in Benfica. Obviously, Benfica, it doesn't matter if it's homegrown Portuguese talents or people of like Lindelof and that, they find the, or David Luiz, you know, whether it's emerging talents through South America or whatever, they develop, man. So you could go there and play and develop. Admittedly, out of all the teams, I'd rather go to Dortmund if I've been linked with them. But apparently, and to be honest, you know, his agent said his future is uncertain. So again, his agents, if they're good agents, they're drumming up interest for their client. They're trying to present your client with options. As a footballer, you always want options. The minute you run out of options, you're in problems. It is claimed there were contacts between the Portuguese club and Guendouzi's entourage roughly about 15 to 20 days ago, and it was done to assess the chances of a possible deal. Apparently, Benfica also contacted Arsenal to understand the demands of the Premier League club. Apparently, we want 15 million, and this figure didn't please the leaders of Benfica. Apparently, Marseille are really struggling to fund the Guendouzi move, according to claims having already agreed a 25 million deal for Gerson. That's the Brazilian lad. Apparently, the English club aren't willing to give any discounts to the French club, giving Benfica a new window of opportunity to negotiate with Arsenal. Bola explained Benfica have received a positive response that they will try to negotiate well below the fee. We all know he was out injured. So what does this tell you? Arsenal are playing hardball. If you don't pay the 20 million allegedly for TORREIRA, you're not getting him. If you don't pay the 15 million allegedly for Guendouzi, you're not getting him, and several things of that nature. But again, there needs to be some sort of fire. So again, I think we'll see in the next few weeks more of an acceleration, or I think when we bring the first one in or the first one out, you'd see a movement. You know, I don't want Guendouzi to be sold, but go and get him sold. TORREIRA sold, Maitland-Niles sold, you know, Joe Willock or Maitland-Niles. All of these guys that have, you know, concerns over their futures, keep it moving, man. If you don't want to be here, if I'm completely honest with you. But Guendouzi, again, like I said, and I have to say it again for the benefit of the tape, I don't want Donny to leave, but it is what it is, man. We need to make some tough decisions. In relation to Reiss Nelson, someone who played 71 odd minutes of Premier League football, he needs to leave the club. You know, Brentford could be there for you, and all of these sort of things. Let me go on that. Let me go on my guy James Baines, because he spoke about. He's the one who mentioned it initially. Sorry, people. Scroll all the way down his timestamp. His time. Oh, James, man, you're tweeting bare stuff in it, rather than just letting me find this on a quick thing. Here we go. Big up James, my guy James. As you lot can see here, Reiss Nelson is still mulling options for a move away from Arsenal. Several suitors in the Bundesliga, including top half teams from last season. Hertha Berlin have a long-lasting interest in the winger. Olympiacos also keen. Now, Olympiacos have been interested in him before. That could be a good option. Playing in Europe, you know, playing in Greece, you know, football's a way of life there. It would be a fantastic. I'm sure he could call Akpom and ask what it's like. That's a fantastic one. Obviously, I don't think he set the world alight in Germany, but he did all right, and he's got suitors. And Germany's been a good breeding ground for young players. I'm sure he can talk to his boy Jadon Sancho. He needs to consider and think long and hard. He needs to go to where he thinks he can grow, where he's going to play, where he has the manager's confidence. Minutes are currency, and Reiss Nelson's stock is falling. I want him to stay. I think there's a baller in this guy. I think he can be a decent player for us, but things happen. Maybe he needs to leave to remind people who he is. In an ideal world, he goes out on loan, reminds everybody, signs a new deal and comes back. In reality, it's not that. I remember a lot of noise was made when he actually committed his future first time round. And obviously the emergence of Saka, the re-emergence of Smith Rowe, it's led to concerns with Reiss Nelson as to why he hasn't kicked on. Is it injuries? Is it attitude? Is it the manager? What is it? It could be a mixture of all of them. I just think he's got a bit too comfortable, like everyone. And I just got gassed off being at Arsenal. But, you know, minutes are currency. He needs to leave because, again, when the manager's backs are against the wall, you see where he plays them. And like I've already said, Arteta has that Pep Guardiola thing I feel about him, is that when he overgasses a player, he's not using you. He don't necessarily rate you like that. And ironically, we all thought Reiss Nelson would probably be the one to benefit the most under Arteta. He started against Chelsea and things. Sometimes it doesn't happen. Man, I just haven't hit their chances. Not everybody who's highly rated or from Haaland has to make it here. Certain men just need to be moved on. But apparently, according to CBSS, Nelson has plenty of suitors in the Bundesliga. And as you lot know, he's got interest in Greece. He's made 47 appearances for Arsenal. How many have been 90 minutes? How many have been in the leagues? How many of them have been starts? Minutes are currency. He scored 4 times and got 4 assists, people. When he was coming into his home in December, he got injured. I think things may have changed, man. And again, you know, he done his thing. Apparently, you know, he probably doesn't want to leave, but he needs to have the chance to play regular football, people. And who knows, he might stay, because you remember this comment with Reiss. I would like to give him more. He's a boy who trains really hard. He wants to do extra all the time, but it's really difficult at the moment with the players that we have to fit him. Again, if Arteta rated him, he would play, bro. Clearly he means Saka, Pepe, Martinelli, deservedly so, all playing ahead of you. He must think William's better than you. For some reason, he's not throwing you in there. He don't rate you. He can do all the chatting and chatting and chatting. He don't rate you. Minutes are currency. Managers' jobs are on the line. If the manager believed you could help him and get people off his back, he'd throw you in at the deep end. He hasn't. He hasn't looked to do that at all. He done it with Emil Smith-Rowe. He should have done earlier. He hasn't. Minutes are currency. Seize your future. Go out and remind Arsenal what you're on, how good of a player you are. Go out and remind Mikel Arteta how silly these decisions are. Letting Reiss Nelson go. Potentially, you know, doing what he's doing with Guendouzi. We don't know what the hell is going on with Saliba. Admittedly, I do think Arteta is a bit of a coward in terms of playing young players. Hopefully things change, because he does a lot of talking. When times are tough, he's lent on the experience, man. And half of them want to leave. Willian, Xhaka, Bellerin, Leno. I'm missing someone else out. You know, all the guys, all the tough decisions, whether it's playing a Nelson, playing Pepe earlier, he hasn't lent on them. Saka is a bit of an exception to the rule, as is Tierney, because, you know, they're exceptions to it. And he's leaned on them. But again, he hasn't been as brave, as innovative and whatnot as we claim our slogans and all of them sort of things at this football club are. So we're going to have to leave that one. It looks like Nelson's gone. Again, I would probably loan him out, because again, you know, you loan him out, he gets his confidence, he scores some goals, you might be able to get more money. You're probably going to get a basement fee for him. But a decision needs to be made, considering his contract hasn't got too much to run. And again, he's wasted a season. Like, there's no way around it. You wasted a season, really and truly, in my opinion, anyways. So it is where it is in that regards. 451 of you locked in. As I said, people, please make sure you've hit the like button and you're at the next watch along, people. It's a shameless plug, very shameless, but we've got to do it. Make sure you're there. Link has been dropped. Before I carry on, let me see what you lot are saying in the comments. Lokonga, does that mean no Basuma? I think so, because you'd have Basuma, Lokonga, Partey. They're all of the similar skill set. I don't think you'd have any others, man. DG, supposedly Leicester would sell Maddison for 60 plus. Willock, thoughts? If that's true, get it done. 100%. 100%. You're living the movie, man. Said Nelson, Willock and cash for Sancho. I wouldn't say he was a super sub. He just played well in patches. Nelson is hurting his own development at this moment in time. I hope we can keep Guendouzi too same, but it's not going to happen, is it? Shout out the Twitch gang as well. I don't know who compared TORREIRA to Vieira, but fair play. The only time I've seen that is Partey. They're not going to get Smith-Rowe, but if Aston Villa are preparing another bid, then they're violating. Is what it is, man. I'd rather buy Max Aarons. Ramsey for free is a no-brainer. I wouldn't say no-brainer, because for free can be expensive, have we seen. But we need at least 2 quality ballers in the middle, especially if we're losing like 4 or 5. And again, if we're really rebuilding, I don't think Ramsey's someone to be rebuilt around. My biggest problem with Ramsey is he spends 2/3 of the season injured. That's why we wouldn't be paying him wages. Ramsey is a nostalgia thing for me. Love Ramsey, but we really shouldn't be considering this. Ramsey's time is done. Emotional business. Our ship has sailed with Ramsey. You man are on to him, innit? Raw. You man are on to him. Fair play. The people have spoken. Ramsey, the people them aren't feeling you really and truly, man. Oh, they're gonna get rid of him, man. His value can still rise, but you need a plan for these guys, man. You really need a plan. Woodman and cash for Willock. That's dead. I'm not really on that, man. I'd rather just the cash, man. I'd rather just the cash personally. But moving on, like I said, please make sure you've hit that like button, people. Obviously, if we look at a couple of, well, to wrap it up, really, you know, what else have we got? That's the same article. That's the same article. That's the same article. That's the same article. That hey, we're moving quick through this, you know. Every time I think we're gonna be here for time, we're not. Obviously, people, it's a time in terms of departures. Obviously, it's upsetting to see. Maybe the oboe is onto me, people, because just as all I was saying was it's upsetting to see young players leave the club, but again, they need to in it. I don't know why it did that, but we go again, people. Obviously, let me share my screen with you guys. Trey Coyle, 20-year-old Trey Coyle has joined FC Lucerne Sport. I think they are in Switzerland. People I speak to say he's been out there for a week, so this isn't something new. Trey Coyle has joined Swiss Super League side FC Lucerne Sport in a permanent move. The 20-year-old Camden-born forward joined our academy aged 8 and progressed through our youth ranks. Obviously, when I look at Coyle, he was a highly rated player. Obviously, a bit of injuries probably knocked his confidence. Injuries and the emergence of other players, it's probably played a part. At 20 years of age, though, he's still young enough to get back on task. I think he had a mixed spell at Gillingham. It's like the manager. That's where they learn it's a funny old game of opinions, because I don't think the manager was playing him when he should have, and the manager was affecting the game. I did think I don't know why he came back and spent the last period of the season with the 23s. Maybe that was just to play, get fit and keep it moving. But I wish him all the best, man. He's still 20, can still do a lot of things. Obviously, people are saying first team at Arsenal and all those things. You know, he'll find his way eventually, but I wish him all the best, man. He's a good dribbler. He can score some good goals. Probably development not been helped, I think, because a lot of these young players just been in and around the 23s for a while, and hopefully he can go and do his thing. It's a shame that he technically didn't make a debut, but as you lot know, he played at Brentford in an unofficial game behind closed doors. And whatnot. So we wish him all the best. He's of the age where you can't play 23s now. If you're not going to get a look in the first team, any decent player should be looking to move on, and he has. And the same goes for Zach Medley, who, again, they were both on loan at Gillingham, both called back. Medley had a tough time at Gillingham and a good time. Both of them learned a lot. I think Medley had a number of good periods, a number of forgettable moments. Again, either way, you learn a lot more playing first team football, and I think he's shown that he can hack man's football and stuff, and I think he's done well being in Scotland, and he showed leadership qualities. But again, 20 years of age, you just do the maths. If Arsenal want to bring in another centre half, if there's already Gabriel, Saliba, who Medley's 20, them man, they are all round same age. So you've got Saliba, Medley, Mavropanos, who's ahead of him, who's probably going to be sold. We're bringing in another centre half. I feel as well for Medley, Ballard, McGuinness, and Clark, they're all kind of fighting each other. So there's too many centre halves. So it's nice to see he's going to find the next move elsewhere, because again, it doesn't matter if the club call you highly rated or want you minutes or currency. And this is a man who has done the maths and he wants to go out and try something. And from both these players, it's brave moves, and I rate them for it, because they're 20. What does living abroad what is it going to do for them both? Forget it as a footballer, as a man, Belgium and Switzerland respectively, they're going to learn a lot about life. And I might be thinking a bit ahead, but what I like is not just these two doing it. We're seeing a lot of English players do it. Not all of them are going to be coaches, but sooner or later they're going to retire and become coaches. How much are these young players going to learn and be able to give back to the British game? Because you see a man, he might be English, but he's playing in Belgium and Switzerland and Spain and Germany, because again, logically speaking, that must somewhat benefit foreign nations because they're playing everywhere. So maybe I'm thinking a bit ahead, but I love to see this from Medley and Cole, because again, I don't know for how long they had left on their contracts, but this tells me proactiveness. We're finding out about Medley and Coyle in the last couple of days. These moves must have been done a while ago. This tells me they want to be proactive. This tells me they want to sit down and settle roots, because they're both of the ages where you're gonna, if Arteta's not saying your first team and you're doing these things, then you're just gonna keep going on loan, coming back, going on loan, and it's not that thing. You need to settle down roots. And Medley, go put your feet down for 18 months in Belgium. You might get a move to a Premier League team or elsewhere. Coyle, get your foot down and work hard in Switzerland. Things will happen. It's difficult to make it at these clubs, but I wish them all the best. And Medley's got a good mentality, as does Coyle. So it is what it is. Apparently, for what it's worth, Medley is now set to leave and things. And to be fair, It's looking like it's a time where all the ex-Chelsea youngsters are moving, you know. And at the end of the day, it's been a success. Moved from Chelsea to Arsenal, played in the first teams, moved on. And the same went for Eddie and Nketiah. It's quite sad, man, to hear Medley, Coyle, Nelson. I always get upset around these young players, but not everyone can make it. It is what it is. Apparently, he's now set to depart the Emirates full time. Apparently, he's there. He's heading to Belgium to finalize his move. Apparently, Arsenal have both a sell-on clause as part of the deal, and we have first option. So if Medley does start to move like a young Brett Beckenbauer, we can get money if we don't want to buy him back. And obviously, there's an option of that. Apparently, Arteta was keen to keep hold of the centre-half. Arteta's keen to keep hold of all these young players. But again, minutes are currency, and they need to seize their futures. They need to do what they can do. So a year from now, a year or 2 years from now, every year they're dramatically improving. As a young centre-half in Medley's case, you're not going to learn. Yeah, in the 23s, you might be playing one game in every 10. There might be a first team player, striker or whatever, who isn't playing at first team level. You might learn something playing against him. But Medley is faster, stronger than everyone. He's not learning. There's a couple of times I saw in his game, he'd make a mistake at 23s. You're not being caught up on that. When you do that at first team level, you are. Same with Coyle and all these players. When you're badding up all these defenders because you're stronger, faster than them, and you've been playing them for years, you're not developing. Now they've got to go from being big fish in small ponds to drowning in the ocean. Really, that's you only develop when you're out your comfort zone. So it is what it is. And to be honest, you know, it's all fun and games saying you want to keep hold of Medley. But if I'm Medley, I look at it and say, on top of the obvious, the centre halves that are around his age and the ones in the first team, I'd say, cool. You've got the young Gabriel. You rubbed him out. You didn't play Saliba. You're selling Mavropanos. You want a new centre half. You know, we're only playing 40 games at this moment in time in the season. 2 in the cup if we don't go through, and 38. What am I going to do to develop? That means, man, I'm going to have to do up under 23s here and there. But you're just, promises are a comfort to a fool. And whether, you know, maybe it could have been best for Medley or Coyle to stay at the club if their contracts were in length. Maybe it would. But I like to see proactiveness because they're not listening to the promises the club will give them. The club owes them nothing, will give them nothing. You know, how many times in Medley's case have you seen a man sign a deal and then he's palmed off after a couple of years? You know, that could happen to Balogun, which I hope it doesn't, you know, because I think he's got ability, but it wouldn't surprise me. The club can tell you everything. They don't have any divine right to you. So minutes are currency. The options aren't there. Did he have options from the Premier League or from England? I don't know. Only he can tell you that. But I think it's a brave jump, you know. How many people can say at 20 they lived in another country, you know? So he'll learn a new way of life, you know, new culture, all these sort of things. Why not? And for me, go there, bro. Get your feet down. I want to see in a year from now you've moved to Anderlecht and you're playing under Vincent Kompany and that. For Coyle, go and bad it up, man. So hopefully there's some success in that regards for those young players as well. Moving away from that, though, I'm all for this. Apparently, Arsenal want to replace Steve Bold with under 18s boss Kevin Betsy as new 23s coach. This guy is certified, innovative, can play different formations, good collective coach, good one-to-one coach. The man's amazing, a good coach. So Kevin Betts, if you listen to DG, if they've contacted you, come and do this thing because, again, young, innovative, exciting. He reflects what I want to see with my players. Big up Bold because I think Bold got a lot of hard rep and I think he's more innovative than people made out. But the 23s just about was saved from relegation. There's a problem there. I want Kevin Betsy. I'd love him to actually be with the under 18s for what it's worth. But apparently Betsy is current head of England's under 18s and is highly rated within the system at the FA. Would love it because obviously, you know, I'm sure with his contacts, he could alert us to some England under 18s players that might not be at Cat 1 clubs, the Chelseas and whatnot, might be able to grab them, you know. Because at one point we had Kwame Ampadu, you know, the dad of somebody who played in the Euros for Wales yesterday, got sent off. You know, why didn't we buy him when he was at Exeter and then sell him or whatever? Because if Chelsea's selling because he don't make the grade, they're making peace. We need to do these sort of things, people. So, yeah, he's worked with England's youth. He's worked at a couple of other clubs. For me, he's 30, and he's 30. Like, take my word for he's 30. He does his thing, people. So, yeah, as you lot know, we finished 10th. It was a struggle, you know, and we're probably going to see, you know, I do think at under 23s level, we'll bring in another one, but we're going to go with quite a decent amount of young players, I feel, in the under 23, set up next year. So it's something to be wary of. But in relation to Medley, Coyle, and Kevin Betsy, you know, hopefully you know, best of luck to Medley and Coyle and anyone else who leaves this club. Kevin Betsy, come and join this team. There will be a number of other departures at youth level. There's a number of players I think should leave the club, arguably more so than these two, but we'll see, people. We'll have to see. On that note, that's that one there done, though, people. So yeah, let's close that and all of those sort of things, people. Should I Let's do it, man. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Apologies, people. I was gonna leave it for tomorrow, but then I thought, you know what? Let's get into it, man. Let's get straight into it. Obviously, you're looking at ISAK, people. We all want ISAK, you know. We all want ISAK, and a lot of the thing I was looking at is Dortmund should be looking at is, okay, we were wrong to sell him. Let's bring him back. But apparently Dortmund can no longer buy back ISAK, but a great offer is feared. Apparently Sociedad have reached Dortmund and Sociedad have reached an agreement to annul the option and recover the 30 million, but there could be a proposal for new money. Again, Google Translate not doing me nice, people. Sociedad has reached an agreement with Borussia Dortmund to cancel the option that the German club had to buy back ISAK for 30 million euros. And not the 70 that it has in its clause. And it will now accept to make the striker who is standing out in the Euros accept an improvement and extension of the contract until 2028. But in a nota, they feared that the agents could present a great offer from a great club, especially in the Premier League. We know he stood out, people. We know he's done what he's needed to do. Apparently, there was a clause by which Borussia Dortmund, a club from which Real Sociedad bought 2 summers ago for around 7 million, would recover for 30 million, but it no longer could because Sociedad entity has reached an economic agreement with the German company to cancel that possibility. So we'll have to see. I do think people are gassing it. Like, I do think I'm gassing it as well. Like, Isaac isn't setting the world alight. He's showing some exciting play and whatnot, but man are gassing it. But I'm all for it. You know, it's no surprise you're hearing Chelsea are onto him. And if I'm Chelsea, you're trying to get Lukaku. You're trying to get, I would, after Haaland, I'd be trying to get Lautaro Martinez, who they've been linked with, and Isaac, and then Lukaku. But then again, Lukaku's pedigree is better than theirs. You know, they need someone who can score goals. I just think Isaac would tie into Chelsea's system a lot more because he can do a lot more. I would love Isaac, but again, Arsenal have barely sorted out the midfield, the centre half, the right back, and then going for him. And then obviously, you know, Sociedad are not going to want to sell him cheap. You know, shout out to them for taking a 7 million chance, and we could learn from them. You know, Isaac's always been a player that's highly rated, but his stock kind of fell off at Dortmund at a time. They saw something in him. They saw a player in him, you know, and I'm sure they would have loved to have made Odegaard's move permanent. So it's about seeing these sort of things. Players that might look like failed wonder kids or players that might look like damaged goods, taking a chance on them. I don't know, people. So it is what it is in that regards. I'd love Isaac, but probably just going to stay one for the dreams, innit? Would love him. You know, you hear Arteta wants him, Eddie wants him, but time will tell. Minutes are currency, as I say, with young players. And if I'm him, are you going to come to Arsenal? You don't know what they're doing. You don't know what they're doing with Lacazette and Aubameyang. You don't know where they are in terms of their wage structure. So we'd have to see, man. We'd have to see. But that's that in relation to any transfer news. Get the likes up like South London's finest has been saying. What's all of this? DG, I can't see anything settled till mid-August. Arsenal renowned to be hanging on for pen and paper. Bro. Please stop spamming. I would love Barella, but again, put the money down. DG, when do you reckon we'll reveal our first sign in mid-July? I think within the first 2 weeks of July. I think within the first week of July. Don't quote me, because I don't know nothing, but I just think so, innit? Big up DG, the best morning show on YouTube. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. I like the way you think that through, DG. Considering players' futures, not just being players, but as coaches and giving back to the game. That's a great approach. Long game of football career. Trust me, bro. I'm excited to see what the English players are having because that has to be a byproduct. It has to be. Obviously, and then maybe with that, my bro, that could mean England stop copying what the in thing is, bro. If Norway win the league today, I mean Euros today, if not that they're in it, we're copying them. We're copying Czech Republic. We're copying any country who wins it. We try to do the Spain thing. We try to do the Brazil thing. You know, we've tried to do the German thing. What's the in thing now? I don't even know what the in thing is now. Again, I don't know how you copy France because I wouldn't say that that's a sort of footballing DNA. That's more just, you know, a Harlem Globetrotters thing. They're just there doing their thing. I think it's a bit harsh to call Aaron Ramsey a hand roll. You know, for me, he's a highly favoured player. I love Aaron Ramsey. I think he gave a lot to the cause. I just don't think he's right to bring back. DG, are you doing the watch along tonight, scouting Dumfries and that? Bro, you might have just joined early. And again, that sets me up nicely for another shameless plug. Of course I am. Macedonia, North Macedonia, better yet, versus Netherlands. Obviously, there's a bit of playing around to do with that. I might just feel like I'm being disrespectful. Not, I need to put the North Macedonia in there. But one of you lot commented that are from North Macedonia and said just call it Macedonia. So I don't know what I'm doing, man. So it is what it is in that regards, man. Oh, I would love Frank Kessié, man. But again, he's very similar to Partey. He's gonna cost an arm and a leg as much as I would want it, and I think we do need that. We're gonna, you bring in Bizuma and Partey or Kessié and Partey. Well, you're gonna need them to create a lot more. And you put a lot more emphasis on your quote unquote 10 or whoever is the attacking don in all of that. So there's a bit of a problem in that regard. So we'll have to see where we at in terms of likes though, because I know you lot are doing the 313 likes, people. I appreciate that, man. That's the fastest I've seen us get there in a while, man. Thanks for always responding to the chats, bro. Appreciate, bro. You lot are the community. If you lot don't come and support the thing, bro, I'm talking to myself like some saddles. So I really appreciate it, man. I really do. It's only called North Macedonia because Greece complained about them calling it. It's just Macedonia because Greece has a province called Macedonia. It's politics. Again, I'm going to stay away from them politics there, so I'm going to leave it as that. But yeah, man, either way, make sure you're supporting that thing, man. We're back on the grind. And another one, and again, thank you very much for the support you guys have dropped me during the Euros, because we've been growing and growing and growing. And, I really appreciate it, man. That the DG hoodie you've got on, of course, man. I can't lie. I love to wear my own. I can't lie, man. Maybe because I listen to a lot of Styles P, but I am loving wearing my own shit. Pardon my language. I'm loving it. I brought my DG mug, or you would see it there. I love it. I'm loving it, man. You're going to see more DG water bottles. I've got my own wine glass. I've got my own, I don't even know. What was it called? It's a drink. It's a cup that I used to drink brandy out of. I like my own branding. I can't lie to you lot, man. I can't lie to you lot. Of course, it's got a great shape to it, man. It's the baddest. My thing is different. Go and get yours now. Shameless plug. Link has been dropped in the description. Again, there's different colors. There's hoodies. There's the rest of it. And I'm very appreciative to you lot. In the last couple of days, you lot have been sending me, you lot getting your merchandise, nice positive words. Like I got a moving message today, man. Some guy was like, I ain't gonna reveal names because there's no need for that. Some guy was like something like, oh, what did he say? He was something along the lines of he don't normally reach out and DM people or whatever, but one of my deluded thought messages, long story short, resonated with him, innit? And it means a lot because that's what we did it for, man. Do what Euro watch alongs do better than regular vids do? Yeah, it depends how you it depends how you look at it, man. It depends how you look at it. I would say yeah, because obviously people are viewing it and whatnot. And I say yeah, because it shows diversity, really. I'd say yeah, actually, arguably, because we're online for longer, innit? So I'd say yeah, really. And I know I love Arsenal. I know I do a lot of Arsenal content. I know it's in the name, but for those of you that listen to the DG podcast and that out tomorrow, make sure you've got a mental note or you're following on Spotify, Apple, and for you lazy ones, it will come out on YouTube. I love to talk about football. I love to talk about youth players. I love to talk about other managerial stuff. And, that's one thing with the Euros. I class it as neutral content. And that's something I want to do more. Like, I do it all the time. I love to talk about Arsenal. I know you lot do as well, but there's more to life than that. I'm a fan of the game, man. Bro, everything's there, brother. Mickey, I have a butchers, man. I have a butchers. You growing to go to the media. You growing to go media. No clue what you mean there, my guy, but I appreciate that. No, I appreciate that. Do you really think Arsenal will spend 250 million with no European football? Bro, seeing's believing, isn't it? I only believe as far as I can see where it comes to the club I love. So watching this in work, earpods are on. Big up yourself, bro. I appreciate that, man. Don't get caught though, man. I appreciate that. Hopefully I've given you some quality in this last hour and 17 odd minutes, man. When will I be in Barbados next? When I can afford it, my guy. When, the COVID laws are cool so that man can just go without doing all of that, then I'll be there, man. That deluded thoughts when you were sitting on that bench hit the most me. I appreciate that. What was that? Was that the one where I was in Tottenham Marshes? I need to get back in there, man. Tell a lie, I sat there the other day, I sat there the other day, I still go through a lot of that stuff. I sat there the other day, not quite to that standard. Like, do you know what? I should really get on the DG Thoughts hype train again, because sometimes it's not forced in it. Like sometimes I'll just be sitting there and I'll be thinking about something, or something might happen in my life where I'm thinking of it and I'll quickly write it down. That's DG Thoughts. I can't sit down and say, I want to chat about this, that. It's one of them where I need to be in the moment sort of thing. That's why you haven't really seen much, because man, I have to live life in it. But if I look, I might be doing you lot dirty, in fact, because I'm sure I have an unreleased one. You see, when my last one came out, another one on that, and I think just didn't bring it out. I'm looking now. I'll have a look. I'm pretty sure I do. I might be doing you lot very dirty in that regards, man. If you lot want that, I'll bring it out. But I didn't think you lot took it in that much, man. I want Basuma because he looks like he ain't phased and don't hide under pressure. I want him too, but I just feel them things, they are volatile, because you know, there will be some point he reverts the type and be's like his players. You know, if you work for a company and you're always on the task with, you know, you're always finding out new qualifications, you're always at the best and you're an industry standard. If you're at a company that's not like that and they're mediocre in that, you're going to indirectly become mediocre, subconsciously or subconsciously or unconsciously, my guy. Even in some aspects you don't see it, you know. That's why they always say you are, you know, you're kind of a reflection of your friends, sort of thing. Deluded thoughts were lit, soon land, man. Keep going, my guy. Yeah, that bench vid kept me from kept me going, stopped me from quitting my job and kept pushing. Broski, I appreciate that. And that's why I do it, man, because you never know who needs to hear it. Like, I ain't got no answers. I ain't made it nowhere to be giving people advice. But I just know it, when I used to hear certain things, or I hear certain things to this day, it makes me feel that man are normal, really and truly. And that's all people need to hear sometimes, that man are normal, really and truly. And I just like to show, man, that I'm a normal person. You know, I ain't made it. I'm trying to make it. There's hella trials and tribulations. You know, I get frustrated like everyone. You know, admittedly, that's one thing I think I've improved. That I get a lot frustrated, but I've kind of clearer in the mindset now. I think everything's going to work out a bit more okay now, rather than be a bit pessimistic. But I don't know where I've got that, man. Basuma would be a great signing. I don't think we've got the players to back him up and let him play his natural game. I think he's the player that lets people play their natural game. But I agree with you in general. When we sign players, they're not pieces to a puzzle, so we can't really be surprised they don't excel, really. You know, that's just me. And what's good, Kier? I'm good, my guy. I'm good. I hope you're always good as well. You know, I hope everybody's good. We're always on the way to making it. It's the process along the way where the real life is. Sticking with it, everyone. Don't give up. And that's it. See, man, like my mentor always said, pressure is a privilege. You've got to love the process. And I used to think it was worse. But it's not in it. You really got to love it. Like, there's a song that's come out now by Meeks. Respect the come up. You know, if you get, you know what, go and take it in on Spotify and the rest. Meeks, if you're listening, pattern up my thing. But the first 10 seconds of that will sum up everything I try and say in Deluded Thoughts, man. Trust me, we're always a month away from being a victim. But I've always learned the beauty, for me anyways, the beauty about life and the hardest thing about life and whatnot, I felt with seeing death and seeing tragedy and seeing everything that we've spoken about, it goes on. That's just what I look at. Because sometimes I think, woe is me, but it goes on in it. Like, the world is going to keep spinning. Like, so it's up to you, really, now. Like, do you get it? So it's one of them ones there, man. I'd prefer Neves over Basuma. Two different skill sets, but I'd like that. I believe that 40 million is too much for Basuma. I like him as a player. I would like him for about 25 million, but football isn't logical anymore. So I'd go as far as to pay that. Man like DG, you know what it stands for, my guy. True motivator. Horse player, I don't quite know if that's me, but if someone, you know, if someone heard my thing and they've gone on to never give up, and because I'm big on that, innit? Like, you know, you don't know who you inspire. You know, I might, not that I'm anybody, but, you know, the next future prime minister might just happen to be a football fan, and he might just hear the DG thoughts and he thought it was rubbed. So while I'll never get praise or anything for it, you know, not that I want it, he might never get, because that's like me. There's some people that got nothing to do with football. But if I ever see them, I'll hail them up, because I'm like, yo, that message, this, yo, that kept a man going, and that, man. Life is seasonal, man. Isn't something like a Super League destined to happen with the way we're moving forward? I want it to happen, man. It will. Way in your zone today. I like it. Silkworm, I appreciate that, man. But all good things have to come to an end, people. I've enjoyed being here for 123. Well, a man said 123 for an hour and 23 minutes, people. I'm back now. I had a little rest. But yeah, man, it's lunchtime. Obviously, I've got to go and make a thumbnail. If I'm going to do Finland versus Belgium, I've got to do a couple other bits and pieces. So make sure you're taking this in, people. And I'll see you in a minute, man. But APV has said, if we can only get one of Basuma, Madison, Camavinga, who you choosing? Camavinga, because I love him. Second, Madison. Third, Basuma, my dude. But yeah, man, you lot stay blessed, man. I'll see you lot in a bit, man. It's a lunchtime thing, man. Appreciate you guys, man. appreciate you guys. In fact, before I go, big up DG. Watched the Arsenal versus Brighton match, and White played right back and didn't stand out as Basuma did. You could have caught him on a bad day, but fair play. You know, fair play. Either one, man. It's sad that Dembele is going to be missing the rest of the Euros, man. It's unfortunate, man. I appreciate you guys. Look at this prayer. You lot make me never want to go, man. Like, you lot never want to go. I appreciate you guys, because without you lot, this thing is nothing in it. So yeah, man, please make sure you hit the like button. Again, in terms of a shameless plug, again, I'll catch you lot in a few. You know, I'll do a bit of cutting up bits and pieces, as I said, I'm doing with my live stream. So expect to see, within the next 24 hours, expect to see heavy amounts of videos in any bits and pieces you've missed, people. You expect to see a lot of spam. Shameless plug, make sure you're here as well, people. I want to see you all at the watch along. If you cannot be there for the North Macedonia versus Netherlands watch along, then butt the like button, please, and drive up the engagement levels. But on that, I'm out. Stay blessed. Let's all have a week to remember. It's Monday. Let's go and get it. I'm out.